revelations on that woman accused of killing her fiancé while kayaking on the Hudson River. Prosecutors laid out their case, now saying she removed the plug on his kayak so it would fill up with water. ABC's Lindsay Davis here with the latest. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, George. Vincent Viafore's body had been missing for more than a month, but this weekend it was found in the Hudson River about an hour north of New York City. And now his fiancée indicted for his murder by a grand jury. This morning, new allegations emerging about the death of 46-year-old Vincent Viafore as prosecutors indict his fiancée Angelika Graswald on murder and manslaughter charges.
On April 19th, the deceased in this case, Mr. Viafore, was reported missing. On April 30th, Ms. Graswald was formally charged.
Graswald is accused of killing Viafore during a kayaking trip last month, allegedly removing a plug from his kayak so it would fill up with water and then pulling the paddle away from him as he struggled to stay above water. The DA also saying she failed to call for help in a timely manner and that a witness reported seeing her intentionally capsize her own kayak so she too would need to be rescued. Shortly after her fiancé disappeared, Graswald described the frantic moments in the rough 40-degree water in a local TV interview.
He was trying to figure out how to paddle the waves because they were getting crazy. And then I just saw him flip.
But prosecutors say the 35-year-old admitted to them she tampered with Viafore's kayak. Her alleged motive, some $250,000 from Viafore's insurance policies, allegedly telling police it felt good knowing Viafore was going to die. But Graswald's attorney says the plug had been missing for a while.
He had no leash or tether to keep him tied to the kayak, no wet or dry suit. He didn't take a single precaution. So I think what happened is they were overcome by a powerful Hudson River.
Graswald remains behind bars with a bond of $9 million and will be arraigned on Friday when her attorney says she will plead not guilty. George.
Okay, thanks, Lindsay. Let's talk to Dan Abrams about this right now. So a lot of choppy waters that day. How are prosecutors going to prove that she actually killed him?
Yeah, based on what we know right now, this is not an easy case. The key to this case is going to be her statements, right? The authorities are saying that she basically confessed to it. Her lawyer's saying there was a language barrier. She misspoke or they didn't understand what she was saying. She's not a Native American speaker, etc. There are comments in her diary which are incriminating. And then there's the possibility of inconsistent statements as to exactly what happened. So that's going to be the key to the case, meaning without being able to demonstrate that her own comments are incriminating, I don't think that they're going to have a particularly strong case.
The prosecutors say they have some witnesses who were watching what was happening out on the water.
Yeah, but you know what? Witnesses watching someone in a kayak from afar and distinguishing between turning yourself into the water versus falling into the water because you were frantically scrambling and scared is going to be a tough distinction to make. I mean, the witnesses will say, look, it didn't seem that choppy out there. She tried, I'm making this up, but maybe she tried more than once to overturn the kayak. But that can be interpreted in many ways. And there's another key point here, which is the prosecutors are going to focus on what she did after.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you about. A week later, she's singing karaoke in a bar looking happy.
And she's putting up Instagram pictures which are potentially problematic. But don't forget about Casey Anthony. Remember? The mother who was accused of killing her 2-year-old, who went out partying and put up pictures of herself partying shortly after her child died. Found not guilty. I mean, I've never seen so incriminating a post-death photos as in the Casey Anthony case. And yet the jurors said, sorry, that's not enough in and of itself to convict. And so I think you're again going to need her statements to be believable and credible as incriminating without the sort of ambiguity that her lawyer is saying there is around those statements.
Okay, Dan Abrams, thanks very much.